I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm a career coach. I work with people throughout the life cycle of their career to help them perform well in their job search, with hiring, within their career itself, in management. And the title of this video comes from an old Rumi poem called The Core of Masculinity. And I was reminded of it today when I was listening to a podcast where Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs was being interviewed. And Rowe, in talking about his own life, spoke about his circumstances and a particular teacher that he had. Now, we look at Mike Rowe today as a finished product, but we don't necessarily know that when he was young and an early teen, he had a stammer. And if you have a stammer or know someone who's had one, it is excruciating for them. It is embarrassing. There's shame associated with it. There are a whole boatload of feelings I don't pretend to know, but can only imagine how difficult it is. And he spoke about a particular teacher he had. He was a music teacher who played professional football and had bad teeth and a whole bunch of other weird characteristics about him. And yet he made demands of him and pushed him and insisted that he had more in him and forced him to audition for a play where Rowe didn't want to do this, and it included him doing a soliloquy. Can you imagine what it would be like to have a stammer, be on stage in front of people and have to give a soliloquy? But the instructor didn't sell him short, and believed in him and pushed him and demanded of him. And right now, culturally, we live in a time where that person is relegated to the dustbin and pushed aside and given, basically a placebo to pat them on the head and say, now, that's okay. The poem that I was reminded of, is old at this point in that it talks about stern slaps. But it reads, the core of masculinity does not derive from being male, nor friendliness from those who console. Your old grandmother says, maybe you shouldn't go to school. You look a little bit pale. Pause for a second. Maybe you shouldn't do the hard thing because, it might hurt. You might fail at it. Back to the poem. Run when you hear that. A father's stern slaps are better. See what I mean about it being dated in that regard? Just think of it as a father's demands, a mother's demands are much better. Your bodily soul may want comforting. The severe father wants spiritual clarity. He scolds but eventually leads you into the open. Pray for a tough instructor to hear and act and stay with you. That teacher who knows within you that core place and believes in you is of greater value than the pat on the head and going, now, it'll be okay. Part of the way it'll be okay is if you push yourself harder and demand more of yourself and have someone to help you make those demands. I'm Jeff Altman. I hope you enjoy this. Visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. There's a lot more there that you can watch, listen to, or read that'll help you find work more quickly, help you be more effective in the workplace, and much, much more. Also want to mention I have a group on Facebook called Career Angles with advice and conversations about being effective in the workplace. Ask to join. I'm limiting the number of free members before it becomes a paid service. Hope you have a great day, and I'd love to coach you. And if you're interested in that, message me through thebiggamehunter.us. We'll set up time for a free discovery call. Have a great day and take care.